Hello and welcome. Doing it your way is tough. Doing it your way in the Hindi film industry is really tough. Doing it your way in the Hindi film industry as a woman, don't even think about it. But you know, no one seemed to have told Vidya Balan that, or obviously she hasn't heard it, because over the years, with a little bit of trial and error, some heartache, some heartburn, loads of hard work, and maybe just a little bit of luck, she has become one of Hindi cinema's finest actors. And not just that, she is one of its latest big box office draws, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a cause to celebrate. Vidya Balan, it's lovely to have you on this show.
Thank you, it's lovely to be back.
And on these incredible highs, I seem to be catching you on these highs in the last 2 times that we've met.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. It's better than I could have ever hoped for. And firstly, thank you for that lovely introduction. It sounds like music and of the best order.
What's the view from the high?
I don't know. I'm just in a happy space. The view is upwards.
That's wonderful.
Because there's much more to do, and I'm hoping it only gets better from here. From the last time I was on your show, things have gotten better, and things are looking up, like you said, for actresses on the whole, in terms of roles, in terms of just the kind of work that's happening in Hindi cinema. So, and in terms of course, the work that I'm getting to do. So, yeah, I'm very, very thrilled.
The Dirty Picture has put you in the 100 crore rupee plus bracket in terms of a movie's box office earnings, and I don't think it's I mean, you know, the fact is that you carried that movie on your shoulders. Okay, I'm going to be a little crude here. Some would say you carried that movie on your chest. Yeah, I mean, if we are women, let's say it like that, isn't it? Why does it have to be the shoulders?
Yeah, and why is it wrong?
So Vidya, is the Hindi film industry ready with projects for a woman who can be a draw at the box office?
Firstly, I think that this is a great time for Hindi cinema, you know, because various kinds of subjects are being experimented with. The roles for women are getting better because we are being humanized. We are no longer either being glorified or demeaned. There is a mid path. So if you could be a mother, but you could have desires, you could have, a life of your own. You could live life on your own terms. You're not just seen as a mother. So the spectrum is definitely widening. But what is very important to keep in mind is that The Dirty Picture was a very entertaining film. You know, it had all the masala, it had all the ingredients, it was engaging. And therefore, I think it did the kind of numbers that it did, you know.
But you're saying don't expect every film to be able to break some new ground, either in terms of box office or in terms of the choice of role.
Yeah, choice of role in terms of, I think the content is definitely getting better, like I said, because the spectrum is so wide. Today you're being seen as individuals who could have a point of view, who could live a life of your own without being apologetic about the choices you make. So it's an amazing time for the Hindi film heroine. But I'm saying every film may not make that difference, or every film may not do the business that A Dirty Picture did.
So tell me, what are the kind of movies that are coming your way? Because you've already, and you're one busy woman, isn't it? Because you've just finished with The Dirty Picture and you're receiving awards for it, but you're actually now promoting the next one, which will release in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes, Kahaani is releasing on the 9th of March.
So,
and you know, Kahaani was actually made before The Dirty Picture, and at a time when even No One Killed Jessica hadn't released. So to put this film together was actually quite an effort. And kudos to Shujoy Ghosh, because you know, a lot of people dissuaded him and told him all sorts of things and said, listen, why don't you get, you know, a big male star in a special appearance, so at least there's some kind of hero in the film, you know, because just one heroine, kaise chalaoge, blah blah blah. But he stuck by his conviction, and
now he hopefully will reap the benefit of
yes,
that conviction.
inshallah, because you know, I think it took a lot for him to make this film at that time in 2010. and it's not been an easy journey for us. But therefore, I really feel like I play a pregnant woman in the film, and I really feel like I'm going to deliver my
success,
child
yeah.
on the 9th of March.
But
so
the question
yeah.
I had from there is that on the flip side of all this success, is there pressure now to deliver? Does one do you feel like you have to deliver a success, that you are carrying the weight of a film on your shoulder or on your chest since you're a woman?
At this time, I think I'm carrying it on my belly. But no, I'm actually enjoying the fact that people have expectations from me, and I know I'm doing my best, but I also know that every film is unique. So that takes the pressure off. I know that a Kahaani is a Kahaani, a dirty picture is a dirty picture, and it's wrong to compare the two. That puts me at ease, you know. Also because this is so close on the heels of the dirty picture, you know, the pressure is bound to be a bit higher than it would have been had it come 6 months later. But I'm actually enjoying that, and like I said, I've done all that I could for the film, and I'm doing all that I can for the film.
Still.
And, yeah, you know, so, and I will go on till the release of the film. So I've learned over the years not to let these things bother me.
You know, the dirty picture, I think I messaged you after I saw it and I said, you made me cry.
Yes.
And for me, what I took away from that film were two things. One is, you know, your almost shining earnestness to that you brought in the way you portrayed that character at one level. And on the other level, the fact that it was not the film industry, it could have been any woman, anytime, forever, you know. You're an actor who preps a lot.
Yes.
And you've talked about how you do it. What was the preparation that went in for this movie, given that it was sort of loosely inspired by Silk Smita, and yet for technical legal reasons, it wasn't?
Yeah.
So what's
I think,
the prep?
You know, for me, it was a lot to do here. The preparation that was required of me was to be completely, unabashedly uninhibited in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Because there is
How
a
does one
certain...
prepare for that?
Just psych yourself, you know. With every character, you psych yourself into believing in the reality of that character, in the reality of every moment that you live on screen.
You told me once that when you were preparing for Guru, you got up some night and you went to get a glass of water, and you felt you couldn't move.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and that you felt was because you were trying to get into that role, and you were trying to figure out how it would be to be wheelchair bound. But how do you prepare to just let yourself go in
to be
front
this,
of the camera?
To be so sexual.
Yeah.
You
How do
know,
you prepare
in a
for
way that I would have seen as offensive before the film. I was like, how am I going to do this? Mouth dialogues, dance, gyrate, like it's nobody's business. And you know, just be so bodily
In
comfortable
your
with
face.
with the excess weight. So it was just here. Therefore, I'm saying I of course rehearsed for the dancing and all of that. I knew the script. You know, Anuradha, the amazing thing about this script is that I was so knotted up about this particular character that I kept avoiding reading the script. Otherwise, I'm someone who reads the script a lot. I normally know my scripts pit pat. This one, I don't remember reading it more than twice. And my only preparation was to constantly tell myself that I loved my body and I was going to use it as a tool to get what I wanted in life. And I was not going to be apologetic about it. So that was what Silk is for me. Therefore, there is a certain innocence, and yet she is who she is, you know. She's this sexual animal. She's almost bestial in her sexuality. And I was a bit concerned sometimes about it beginning to look sleazy. But I knew one thing for sure, that there were no half measures, that there were no shortcuts. So either I did it the way it needed to be done, or then I didn't. So I let myself go. And you know what helped was that we started with the song Ooh La La. So a song.
And what a magnificent song that is.
And what a start, you know, because I remember on the first day, my choreographer Pony Verma kept saying, a little more, heave, heave, heave. And you know, I'd heard that in the 80s and all, when the gyrations were in. At that time, directors, choreographers would keep telling their actors that, but I never experienced something like this. So I could see the change happening in me between the first sequence and the last sequence on the first day. And then it only got better and better and better from there. Until I began to, within I think 4 or 5 days, by the time we'd finished the song, I was another person. I had gotten into, see, because I always, as an actor, I've never had limitations in my head. I've never had any rules as to this is a character I'll play, this is the extent I'll go to. But then I know it in front of the camera. I didn't know to what extent I'd be able to let myself go. And I was amazed by how liberated.
Brave. It is liberating, isn't it?
It's so liberating. And it's so liberating to have put on 12 kgs and to have
and
sat
to
with my stomach showing, you know. And there was a time when Milan actually came up to me during one of the scenes and he said, "You're looking thinner today." And that was a fat phase. So I said, okay. I tightened the jeans to such an extent
so
that,
you know, more of a layer.
You know, tighten everything suddenly and did it like in a corner on set. And he said, "I can't believe you." I said, "Well, I'm silk for you." You know, I had actually gotten completely bindas. And it's such a joy for an actor to experience that.
And a sense of strength at some level.
Absolutely.
That you are in control.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you're bang on that one. And you know, and the fact that you don't care. You don't care. And when you don't care, it's not just liberating, it's almost you're smug about it, you know, because, and I don't know where the lines between Silk and me got blurred. It happens with every character, but with this, because the differences were so sharp, when that merging began to happen, and I don't mean to make it sound esoteric or you know, intellectual or anything, but just that when that began to happen, it was a best feeling in the world. And you know what brings me the greatest joy is the fact that people say I was at my desirable best, at my fattest best.
But is it important still to be told that you're desirable? Because if you don't care, then it doesn't matter whether you're desirable or
I'm
not.
saying, but
in spite, you're saying in spite
of that,
okay.
You know, because suddenly people have, especially now that I'm doing interviews for Kahaani, and I'm meeting so many people, you know, media and even ground events and things like that, and they say, "Oh, you made us love our curves," and you know, "Oh, you looked so sexy in Ooh La La or in the Dirty Picture," and I'm like, you know, wow, I've actually laid to rest my battle with the bulge.
I get it.
Forever.
I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you.
So I really, and I think that's what it is all about, acceptance of self. And maybe this, you know, at another level, maybe this film was meant to happen so that I could just embrace myself in every way.
I've already told you what I thought of you in the film, but I must tell you what I thought of the film. And I must say that what I thought of you in the film and what I thought of the film were completely two very, very different things. And I'm very interested to know your reaction to what I'm going to say next. And that is that while your earnestness was shining through your eyes and through everything you did in that film, the fact that it was a film set in the 80s and it was made to look and sound like that, I felt in a way was exploitative of you and need not have been that exploitative. How do you react to that?
I honestly didn't see it as exploitative, and I think again, because there was an element of choice there. I knew exactly where the camera was placed. I knew exactly what shots were being taken. I was completely in the know, and you know,
and you felt in control.
Yeah, completely in control. So if I remember during this scene where you know, I'm on this, I'm drugged, and there's that porn film that's being shot. And I remember Milan came to me and he said, "Would you want to check the shot?" Because I'm someone who doesn't watch the monitor ever. So I said, "No, I don't want to." And I said, "No, I trust you. You know, we've come through so much of the film." And I had that, I trusted Milan Luthria completely. And I think it's paid off. I told him this, that I said, "Treat me like a child who doesn't know to walk, hold my hand and teach me how to." And I think he literally did that. It was that I had surrendered, submitted to him. You needed that kind of trust. You couldn't have varying opinions on how much not to, you know. So I really think I didn't see it as exploitative at all.
Because
there was trust.
I saw it in a multiplex, and I also saw it with some friends in a single screen theater. And I must say that in the single screen theater, at some points, I wasn't sure whether the men were getting the story of the woman of silk, which I was, or if they were enjoying it precisely because the film was being exploitative of Vidya Balan, the way all those movies in the dirty picture were of silk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it worked at different levels for different people, and if it's okay. I don't know.
No, firstly, I think it's a big compliment because that was the idea, you know. One, that it could seem extremely exploitative, but that's how it was. We have tried to portray it in the most real and in a manner that felt real. Let's put it like that. Yeah. So I think therein I'm looking at a compliment from you saying it didn't have to be that, but we've literally recreated that world, and it worked for everyone. I think everyone got the story beyond, but it's about what you take back, what you choose to take back again. For someone else, it's, you know, not the shoulders. And for someone else, it is that.
So you're saying it's okay. You can take from the film what you want to take from it.
No, I think everyone gets the story. Everyone knew, because I've spoken to people across the board, you know.
Okay, so you're saying everyone gets the story, but what you choose
to connect with.
Connect with is your call, and it's okay.
Absolutely.
So it's okay if I connect with it at the level I told you, which is that it suddenly became about any woman anywhere in whatever industry, dealing with her choices and her sexuality and her career, most critically, because it was about her career.
Yeah.
And it could be for a man, a young boy who says, okay, this is the stuff of my wet dreams for the next few years.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, all right.
And it is, as long as, during the promotions, someone asked me, I remember there was a panel discussion somewhere, and they said, are you using sex to sell your film? I said, even if I am, I'm not, but even if I am, as long as you reach the theatres, you'll realize that there is much more to her. This is beyond the body. And I think that's what happened with everyone who watched the film. But like I said, men will be men, and men from certain strata will cloak it beautifully, from others won't.
Yeah.
So that's
true.
Yeah. that's how it is. And the fantastic thing about this film is that a lot of people came out of the theatres and said, you respect her and people like her, and that came through. And that for me is a big compliment for me.
Actually,
and Milan.
I get that, Vidya, because like I said, I don't think I liked the film very much. But I understand that film was successful because a lot of people liked it because it was so clear about what it was saying. Whereas I perhaps would have liked everything to be a lot more subtle, even the dialogues, But anyway, I guess different strokes for different folks.
No, I guess we were not being judgmental at all. And that was the one brief that I got from Milan. He said, we are not here to judge her. And we are not going to be apologetic there. For someone who, she doesn't judge herself. The moment she does, that's the beginning of her downfall, really.
Your next release, Kahaani, is a film that you actually started much before The Dirty Picture, right? But going forward, what are the choices you're making, and what kind of films are coming your way?
It's interesting, the kind of films that are coming my way. People are, of course, coming to me with a lot of women-centric films, but a lot of nice relationship stories, and that's something that I really want to explore.
I still remember those Airtel commercials. They were all of 30 seconds, but for me they were relationship films.
Yeah, absolutely.
The ones with Madhavan.
Yes.
So those were
and
wonderful.
I hope I get to do a film like that, I think especially maybe around an extramarital affair or something like that, considering everyone and their father is having an extramarital affair today. But
oh really? Tell us. I like the sweeping statement that you made. Everyone and their father is having an extramarital affair today. No, I get it.
You just hear a lot about it. So I'm saying it's just so, knowing that you're banging your head against a wall, so many people end up doing it. I find that fascinating. There's another film that I'm doing which is called Ghanchakar, which is Rajkumar Gupta's next.
Which has got advertised even and being talked about even before I think it goes on the floors because everybody is riding the Vidya wave, isn't it? It is true.
Maybe, I don't know. It's just that I'm getting back. I'm working with Rajkumar Gupta again after No One Killed Jessica, and also with Imran Hashmi after The Dirty Picture. It's a comedy, and I've always wanted to do a comedy. So finally, I get to do one, and the kind of comedy I like. So I'm looking forward to this one. And
So are the directors lining up? Yes, say yes.
Yes.
Are the heroes lining up?
Not yet.
That's the question mark. I'm curious about how that'll play. Are the Khans lining up?
Not outside my door yet.
Okay, so those are the question marks. Let's see whether they can evolve to accept this.
Yeah.
My final question to you, Vidya, is that you've been candid about different insecurities at different phases, and I think that's great because you've managed to share, and because you've shared, other people have managed to feel better. Today, when everything is so good, okay, your movies are working, they're making the money, your talent is getting accepted and acknowledged. You, from the news reports I read, you seem to be seeing someone, so very good, and congratulations.
Thank you.
The question is, at this phase, when everything is so good, are insecurities all gone, or what are the fears today when you're in such a good place? Because fears never leave us, do they?
Fears don't.
So what
Fears
are the
don't.
fears today?
They probably diminish, but they definitely don't leave you. And there are insecurities, I'm sure, but very honestly, and not trying to give you a quote or anything here, but I've not had the time to think about anything. I've not had the time to soak it all in. Hopefully after the 9th.
Moving, isn't it? All the time. It's just all happening around
So
you.
maybe it's a good thing. Maybe if I sat back and thought about it, I would have come back here with 10 heads or something like that. I don't know. But I feel there's one thing that I feel, and that's extreme gratitude for the way things have panned out, and for the fact that I have come to accept myself in spite of my insecurities and my limitations and my fears.
And you accept and you know that there will be more at some point again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vidya Balan, you're a sparkling image of woman, in the Indian woman today. It's lovely to meet you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.